Trump warns Putin playing with fire over Ukraine.
New chapter for Vietnam-Hungary relations.
Western allies lift Ukraine's restrictions on long-range weapons and the consequences.
Hello, you're watching today's news on NTV, and now let's get started. The U.S. President Donald Trump warns that Russian President Vladimir Putin is playing with fire regarding Ukraine conflict. Trump's warning comes as Russia continues its attacks on Ukraine despite the U.S. president's effort to mediate a peace deal to end the conflict.
On the social platform Truth Social, Trump stated that President Putin does not realize that without Trump's role, far worse things could have happened to Russia. He also expressed disappointment with Ukrainian President Zelensky, saying his recent remarks have not helped his country. Trump's statement comes amid reports that he is considering abandoning efforts to push for an end of conflict if his initiatives do not yield results. Meanwhile, the Kremlin stated that Russia appreciates U.S. efforts but accused Ukraine and Western nations of undermining peace negotiations. Russia added that recent large-scale airstrikes on Ukraine were retaliation for Ukrainian drone attacks on Russian civilian targets. According to Russia's defense ministry, more than 2,300 Ukrainian UAVs were intercepted or destroyed in just the past week, most of which penetrated deep behind the front lines.
On the morning of May 28th, the President Lương Cường and his spouse hosted an official welcoming ceremony for the Hungarian President Sullyok Thomas and his spouse during their state visit to Vietnam. The visit marks a significant milestone that opens up a new chapter for bilateral ties.
The visit coincides with the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries, demonstrating mutual respect and a commitment to advancing the Vietnam-Hungary Comprehensive Partnership. The two countries have enjoyed a flourishing relationship across various fields, including politics, economy, education, culture, and legal cooperation. Hungary currently has 21 investment projects in Vietnam, totaling nearly USD 51 million. Hungary was the first EU country to ratify the EVPA and strongly supports the EVFTA, helping to boost bilateral trade, with an aim to grow 10% annually. The official visit of the Hungarian President to Vietnam will open a new chapter in the relations between the two countries, with expectations for deep cooperation towards sustainable prosperity and inclusive development.
On May 28th, during the 46th Asian Summit and related meetings in Malaysia, the Vietnamese Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính just attended a high-level discussion session titled The Intelligence Grid: Building Bridges Through Sovereign AI Collaboration, where he called for stronger coordination to ensure AI development is safe, ethical, and inclusive.
At the discussion session, the Prime Minister emphasized that AI development is an objective requirement and top strategic priority. He called on member states and partners to boost cooperation in AI development. The Prime Minister also proposed cooperation in building harmonized institutions, developing modern AI infrastructure, training high-quality human resources, and encouraging technology transfer from developed countries. He also called for equal access to AI so that no country is left behind. The Prime Minister also affirmed that humans must control AI, not allow AI to replace humans, while clarifying that AI development must go hand in hand with risk control, ensuring humanity, safety, and autonomy.
Upcoming are some updated news.
As part of its working program in Europe, the Nghệ An provincial delegation, led by Mr. Hoang Nia Hu, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee cum Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, attended the opening of a new exhibition area honoring President Ho Chi Minh at the New Haven Museum, East Sussex, United Kingdom. The exhibition aims to honor Ho Chi Minh's historical mark in New Haven while working there in the early 20th century. The event not only contributes to spreading the image of President Ho Chi Minh to international friends but also marks an important step in the exchange and cooperation relations between Nghệ An and UK localities.
The The Trump administration has ordered U.S. embassies worldwide to temporarily stop scheduling new visa appointments for international students and cultural exchange programs. The suspension is effective immediately. Consular offices are not to schedule new interview appointments until further notice. This is seen as a measure to enhance personal information control and prepare for expanding social media vetting procedures for student visa applicants, amid concerns over students involved in pro-Palestine protests at U.S. universities. This move could impact thousands of foreign students planning to study in the U.S. in the near future.
Nghệ An Southeast Economic Zone Management Board has submitted a proposal for the Casa Bonita residential project with a total investment of up to 2.241 trillion VND. The project is part of the overall development strategy of the VSIP in Nghệ An Industrial Urban Service Complex, which is attracting large investment capital from both domestic and foreign sources. The 31.79 hectare project will be a synchronous and modern residential area with more than 1,250 housing units and integrated social infrastructure. Construction is expected to begin in early 2026 and be completed by the fourth quarter of 2029.
While diplomatic efforts to achieve a ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine conflict have made little progress, a significant development has emerged from Europe as some Western countries, including UK, France, and Germany, have agreed to lift all remaining restrictions on long-range weapons they provide to Ukraine. This move raises many questions on resolving the conflict in Ukraine.
With the West's decision, Ukraine can now use long-range weapons such as the UK's Storm Shadow, France's Scalp, and the US's ATAR-CMS to target military facilities on Russian soil. This is seen as a turning point in Western military aid policy, further complicates the situation, potentially inflame tensions between Russia, EU, and NATO member states. Jorge Rivero, a Washington-based Russia-Ukraine specialist, USA, believes that the West easing restrictions on the use of long-range weapons could mark a major shift in current conflict.
Lifting restrictions could allow Kyiv to target military facilities within Russian territory, including air bases launching drones and strategic bombers. Removing these limits could shift the tactical dynamics, enabling Ukraine to disrupt the logistics and operational framework sustaining Russia's war effort.
The lifting of restrictions on the use of Western weapons also further complicates peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. Analysts also predict that Europe's decision could lead to an uncontrollable escalation of the conflict, increasing tensions and the risk of direct confrontation between NATO and Russia. This is particularly concerning if Russia considers the attacks on its territory as a serious threat and may use nuclear weapons against Ukraine.
The last story to finish our show today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.